Frank Vincent's life and career were deeply intertwined with Hollywood's crime genre, earning him a place among the most respected and recognizable mob actors of all time. His influence extended beyond film into video games, television, and even the comic book world. Despite playing ruthless gangsters, his personal life reflected stability, loyalty, and dedication to his craft, making him a legendary figure in entertainment. Frank Vincent, one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood's gangster film genre. When people hear his name, they immediately think of the cold, ruthless, yet undeniably captivating mobsters he played in Goodfellas, Casino, and The Sopranos. But beyond these iconic roles was the story of a man who came from a working-class family, a man who once had a deep passion for music before fate led him to acting. His journey from a jazz musician to one of cinema's most feared and respected on-screen mobsters is a testament to his talent, determination, and adaptability. How did he transform from a young man growing up in Jersey City into one of the most enduring figures in crime cinema? Let's take a deep dive into the extraordinary life and career of Frank Vincent. Frank Vincent Gattuso Jr. was born in North Adams, Massachusetts, on April 15, 1937, but his formative years were spent in Jersey City, New Jersey. Jersey City, a bustling urban area with a strong working-class character, played a major role in shaping his worldview. The neighborhood was tight-knit, where families knew each other well, and the sense of community was palpable. Growing up in this environment, Frank was exposed to the struggles and values of blue-collar life from a young age. His father, Frank Vincent Gattuso Sr., was an iron worker by trade and also had his own business. Working as an iron worker was physically demanding, and Frank Sr.'s job reflected the grit and perseverance required to make a living in such a tough field. Frank Jr. likely learned the importance of hard work, resilience, and dedication from watching his father day in and day out. His father's efforts to provide for the family were not just about survival, but also about instilling a sense of pride and responsibility. These early lessons in work ethic were pivotal in shaping the man Frank Vincent would become, and they also echoed in his performances later in life, where loyalty, determination, and strength were common themes in his roles. Frank had two brothers, Nick and Jimmy, and a half-sister named Fran. The dynamic of being one of the boys in a somewhat larger family, along with the slightly different relationship he had with his half-sister, likely influenced Frank's deep sense of family loyalty. While siblings sometimes challenge each other, this setup may have given Frank a well-rounded perspective on both camaraderie and personal responsibility. Growing up in a family that emphasized these values shaped his future character and was something he would carry with him into adulthood. Even though Frank came from humble beginnings, he took great pride in his upbringing. The Vincents were close-knit, with an understanding that family, community, and hard work were the foundations of life. Despite the financial challenges, there was a clear sense of support within the family that made Frank feel secure. His mother's influence, combined with his father's steady work ethic, grounded him throughout his life, even as he moved into the world of entertainment. Frank's childhood was not without its hardships, but it provided him with a foundation that emphasized loyalty, pride in one's work, and the value of family. These core principles shaped the way he approached his career in music, acting, and comedy. During the early part of his career, Frank Vincent's passion for music was a major influence on his professional life. Skilled in the drums, piano, and trumpet, he worked as a studio musician, collaborating with artists such as Paul Anka and Del Shannon. His musical abilities allowed him to find steady work, but his creative ambitions didn't stop there. By night, he formed his own jazz band, Frank Vincent, and the Aristocrats, which performed in various venues. This was a crucial time for Vincent, as it allowed him to gain experience not only as a musician, but also as a bandleader and performer. However, the decline in the popularity of lounge music in the late 1960s led Vincent to pivot to another form of entertainment. In 1969, his band needed a pianist, and Vincent hired Joe Pesci to join the group. This collaboration proved to be a turning point in Vincent's career. As lounge music faded, Vincent and Pesci took a bold step toward stand-up comedy, adopting the stage name Vincent and Pesci. Their act combined classic slapstick humor in the style of Abbott and Costello with the insult comedy of Don Rickles. The duo quickly became known for their lively, energetic performances, which resonated with audiences and allowed them to perform regularly. From 1970 to 1976, their act was well received, and their growing bond, both professionally and personally, laid the foundation for what would become a lifelong friendship. This period in comedy helped Vincent and Pesci hone their comedic timing and stage presence, which would prove valuable in their later film careers. Their transition from comedy to film began when they landed roles in The Death Collector, 1976, a low-budget gangster film. This film marked a key moment in Vincent's career, as it caught the attention of Robert De Niro, who was impressed by Vincent's performance. De Niro recommended Vincent and Pesci to director Martin Scorsese, which would change the trajectory of Vincent's career. Scorsese, known for his work in gangster films, saw something in Vincent's tough guy persona and cast him in a supporting role in Raging Bull, 1980. This collaboration with De Niro and Pesci marked Vincent's first significant break in Hollywood, and his portrayal of a tough, volatile character made a lasting impression on audiences. After Raging Bull, Vincent's career continued to grow in prominence. He appeared in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, 1989, and Jungle Fever, 1991, playing a variety of roles that showcased his versatility. In Jungle Fever, he played the patriarch of an Italian-American family, a character who was abusive and difficult, a role that demonstrated Vincent's ability to play complex, morally ambiguous characters. Vincent also worked on a number of international projects, including a significant supporting role in Made in Argentina, 1987, directed by Juan Jose Hucid. In this film, Vincent played Vito, a wealthy Manhattan businessman who forms a bond with the film's protagonist, a substance abuse counselor. This appearance helped to further establish Vincent's reputation as a versatile actor, capable of crossing cultural and cinematic boundaries. However, it was his role in Goodfellas, 1990, that truly solidified Vincent's status as one of the most iconic gangster actors of his generation. In this film, directed by Martin Scorsese, Vincent played Billy Batts, a member of the infamous Gambino crime family, marking one of his most memorable performances. The film's success, alongside its critical acclaim, cemented Vincent's place in Hollywood as a go-to actor for roles in crime dramas. He later reunited with Scorsese and Pesci for Casino, 1995, where he played Frank Marino, a character based on real-life gangster Frank Colata. As Marino, Vincent showcased his ability to play the sidekick to Pesci's explosive character, further proving his range and ability to hold his own in ensemble casts. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, Frank Vincent's career continued to thrive, with notable appearances in a variety of films, television projects, and even music videos. In 1996, Vincent showcased his versatility when he appeared in the music video for Nas's hit song, Street Dreams. This exposure in the music world led to a role in the television movie Gotti, 1996, where he portrayed Robert D.B. DiBernardo, an associate of infamous mafia boss John Gotti. This role, in a film that chronicled Gotti's life, allowed Vincent to further cement his reputation as a go-to actor for gangster-related roles. In 1998, Vincent appeared in Belly, a film starring Nas and DMX, and directed by Hype Williams. Though his role was smaller, he continued to add depth to his diverse acting portfolio. Beyond acting, Vincent also took on the role of an acting coach on Belly, further demonstrating his behind-the-scenes talents and his willingness to support emerging projects within the entertainment industry. However, it was his role in the HBO series The Sopranos that became his most iconic and well-known performance during this period. As Phil Leotardo, the ruthless, power-hungry boss of the Lupertazzi crime family, Vincent's character became the primary antagonist in the final season. His portrayal of Leotardo, a complex and menacing figure, earned him widespread recognition and solidified his place in television history as one of the standout villains of the series. The year 1999 also saw Vincent being honored with the Italian-American Entertainer of the Year award, a testament to his impact on both the film and television industries. His acting career continued to build in the 2000s, with performances in films like Remedy, 2003, a psychological drama, and This Thing of Ours, 2003, where he played Danny Santini. This film had an intriguing connection to the real mafia world, as it was produced by Sonny Francesi, an underboss of the Colombo crime family, and directed by Danny Provenzano, a capo of the Genovese crime family. Later that year, Vincent controversially found himself involved in legal proceedings, testifying in court on behalf of Provenzano, who was serving time for racketeering and other charges. Vincent also found a way to branch out into more mainstream, lighter roles. In 2005, he appeared in a British television commercial for Peugeot cars, showcasing his ability to diversify beyond the tough guy roles he was known for. The same year, he appeared in a series of commercials for the Irish bank Permanent TSB, continuing to expand his career into advertising. While his acting career was flourishing, Vincent also ventured into the world of video games. He voiced the character of Salvatore Leone, the mafia boss, in the Grand Theft Auto video games. His portrayal of Leone in Grand Theft Auto 3, 2001, was so well received that he reprised the role in both Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, 2004, and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, 2005, making him a memorable part of one of the most successful video game franchises in history. In 2006, Vincent released a book titled A Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man, which was met with positive reviews. The book was a reflection of Vincent's tough guy persona and his view on masculinity. In addition to his book, he also released a line of hand-rolled cigars, which featured his image on the band. These ventures demonstrated Vincent's entrepreneurial spirit, extending his influence beyond acting and into lifestyle branding. His career continued to flourish with roles in independent films. In 2008, he played Lieutenant Marino in The Tested, a gritty drama directed by Russell Costanzo. A year later, Vincent made a cameo appearance in the Stargate Atlantis episode Vegas, 2009, alongside fellow Sopranos actor Steve Schirripa. The following year, he starred in Chicago Overcoat, 2009, taking on the main protagonist role in this crime thriller. Vincent's career even expanded into the world of comics. In 2013, he starred in the IDW publishing comic series Kilogi, which was created by Alan Robert of Life of Agony. Vincent portrayed the character Sally Snow Cones, a role that allowed him to bring his tough guy persona into the world of graphic novels. The series was a hit, earning nominations at the Ghastly Awards and winning multiple horror comic awards from the Horror News Network. The popularity of Kalaji led to an adaptation of the comics into a 3D animated series in 2014, with Vincent and his fellow comic cast members lending their voices to the animated characters. By 2003, Frank Vincent had become one of the most recognizable actors in the mafia genre, seamlessly portraying tough, calculating, and often ruthless characters. His role in This Thing of Ours further reinforced his reputation as an actor deeply connected to organized crime narratives. In the film, Vincent played Danny Santini, a capo regime in the Genovese crime family, who finds himself involved in a high-stakes internet heist led by his ambitious nephew, Nicky Santini. The title of the film itself, This Thing of Ours, translates to Cosa Nostra, the term used by the Italian-American mafia to describe their secret criminal society. This choice of title, along with Vincent's involvement, immediately signaled the film's deep-rooted ties to real-life mafia culture. What made This Thing of Ours particularly unique was that it wasn't just another Hollywood-made mafia film. It was produced and directed by individuals with direct ties to organized crime. John Sonny Franzese, a longtime underboss of the Colombo crime family, served as an associate producer on the film. Additionally, the film's director and co-writer Danny Provenzano was the grandnephew of Anthony Tony Provenzano, a feared member of the Genovese crime family. Danny Provenzano himself was later convicted of racketeering and sentenced to 10 years in prison for extortion, loan sharking, and other mafia-related crimes. This level of real-world connection gave This Thing of Ours an air of authenticity that most crime films lacked, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Vincent's participation in this project was a testament to how deeply intertwined his career had become with the depiction of the mafia, both on-screen and off. His portrayal of Danny Santini once again demonstrated his ability to bring to life the complexities of organized crime figures. Men who were not just ruthless criminals, but also strategists navigating the dangerous world of power, loyalty, and betrayal. Audiences, already familiar with Vincent's performances in Goodfellas, Casino, and The Sopranos, found his role in This Thing of Ours to be another compelling addition to his legacy in the crime genre. However, Vincent's association with organized crime extended beyond the screen in 2003. Later that year, he made headlines when he testified in court on behalf of Danny Provenzano, who was facing a 10-year prison sentence for racketeering and other criminal charges. While the specifics of Vincent's testimony remain largely private, his willingness to appear in court for a convicted mobster further fueled speculation about his connections to the mafia world. Unlike many actors who portrayed gangsters purely for the sake of cinema, Vincent's name repeatedly surfaced in discussions that blurred the boundaries between acting and real-life organized crime figures. Vincent's decision to testify for Provenzano was particularly striking given his previous roles. Having played Billy Batts in Goodfellas, Frank Marino in Casino, and Phil Leotardo in The Sopranos, his real-life courtroom involvement added a layer of intrigue to his persona. The fact that he had worked alongside real-life mafia figures on This Thing of Ours only deepened the perception that he was more than just an actor portraying mobsters. He was someone who truly understood the world he brought to life on screen. Despite the controversy surrounding his off-screen connections, Vincent remained one of the most respected actors in the gangster genre. His ability to bring nuance to his characters, whether they were ruthless mafia enforcers or high-ranking bosses, set him apart from many others in the industry. Even as Hollywood continued to produce crime dramas long after This Thing of Ours, few actors could match Vincent's authenticity in these roles. His work in This Thing of Ours and his courtroom involvement in 2003 further solidified his reputation as one of the most authentic mafia actors in Hollywood. Whether intentional or not, Vincent had crafted a legacy where fiction and reality often seemed to intersect, leaving fans and critics alike wondering just how deep his ties to the real mafia world truly went. Frank Vincent was married to Kathleen Vincent, and their marriage lasted from 1970 until his passing in 2017, a remarkable span of nearly 5 decades. Together they had 3 children, Anthony, Deborah, and Maria. Unlike many Hollywood relationships that struggle under the pressures of fame, Frank and Kathleen maintained a stable and enduring partnership built on mutual respect, support, and dedication to their family. Throughout Frank's career in the entertainment industry, Kathleen was a constant presence by his side. She often accompanied him to public events, film premieres, and industry gatherings, demonstrating the deep connection they shared. While Frank was well known for his roles as a tough, no-nonsense character in gangster films and television, in his personal life he was described as a devoted husband and father. Kathleen played a crucial role in ensuring their family life remained strong despite the demands of Hollywood. One of the most notable aspects of their marriage was the way they balanced public and private life. While Frank's career frequently placed him in the spotlight, he and Kathleen chose to keep their personal lives relatively private. Unlike many celebrities who openly shared details of their relationships, Frank and Kathleen were more reserved, focusing on raising their children and maintaining a sense of normalcy outside of the industry. This discretion likely contributed to the longevity of their marriage, as they avoided the kind of public scrutiny that often strains high-profile relationships. Despite the challenges that come with being married to a well-known actor, Kathleen remained a steadfast supporter of Frank's work. As he took on major roles in films like Goodfellas, Casino, and The Sopranos, she was there to celebrate his successes. Even as Frank expanded his career into other ventures, including writing his book A Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man and voicing characters in video games, Kathleen remained his strongest supporter. Their enduring relationship was a testament to the strength of their bond. Unlike the turbulent relationships often associated with the entertainment industry, Frank and Kathleen built a marriage based on trust, companionship, and shared values. Even as Frank played ruthless mobsters on screen, at home, he was a family man who prioritized his wife and children. Frank Vincent and Joe Pesci shared a deep personal and professional relationship that had a lasting impact on Vincent's career. Their collaboration began in 1969, when Vincent, already an established musician, was leading his jazz band, Frank Vincent and the Aristocrats. At the time, the band was looking for a pianist to help secure bookings, but instead of hiring a keyboard player, Vincent ended up bringing in Joe Pesci as a guitarist. This seemingly small decision would prove to be a turning point in both their lives. As the popularity of lounge music declined in the late 1960s and early 1970s, Vincent and Pesci saw an opportunity to transition into stand-up comedy. They rebranded themselves as a comedy duo, performing under the name Vincent and Pesci from 1970 to 1976. Their act combined classic Abbott and Costello-style double-act comedy with Don Rickles-inspired insult humor, making them a unique and entertaining pair on stage. Their quick wit, sharp comedic timing, and natural chemistry made them a hit with audiences, further strengthening their professional bond This period in stand-up not only showcased their comedic talents, but also allowed them to refine their ability to command a stage, an experience that would later serve them well in the world of film. Their success in comedy eventually led to their first break in the film industry. In 1976, both Vincent and Pesci landed roles in the low-budget gangster film The Death Collector. Their performances were strong enough to catch the attention of Robert De Niro, who was so impressed that he personally recommended them to legendary director Martin Scorsese. This recommendation changed Vincent's career trajectory, leading to a supporting role in Raging Bull, 1980, where he reunited with Pesci and acted alongside De Niro. Scorsese's trust in Vincent and Pesci opened the door for future collaborations, making this film the first step in what would become a long-standing working relationship with some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Following Raging Bull, Vincent continued to build his film career, becoming one of Scorsese's most trusted character actors. He worked alongside Pesci and De Niro again in Goodfellas, 1990, where he played Billy Batts, a made man in the Gambino crime family. His performance in the film was one of the most memorable of his career, particularly in the infamous scene where Billy Batts taunts Pesci's character, Tommy DeVito, with the line, "Go home and get your shine box," ultimately leading to his brutal demise. This role cemented Vincent's reputation as an actor who could deliver intense, authentic, and unforgettable performances in the crime genre. The success of Goodfellas further solidified Vincent's career in Hollywood, leading to another major role in Scorsese's Casino, 1995. In this film, he played Frank Marino, a character based on real-life mobster Frank Colata. Once again, he shared the screen with Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro, further strengthening his association with the gangster genre. His character in Casino was the right-hand man to Pesci's volatile and violent mob enforcer, showcasing Vincent's ability to play a tough yet calculated figure in the crime world. Beyond these films, Vincent's relationship with Scorsese, Pesci, and De Niro continued to benefit his career as he became one of the most recognizable faces in crime dramas. His ability to embody mob characters with a perfect balance of charm, menace, and authenticity made him a sought-after actor in the genre. His extensive experience working with some of Hollywood's biggest names allowed him to refine his craft, ensuring that his performances remained compelling and impactful. Vincent's collaborations with these influential figures not only shaped his career, but also left a lasting impact on the portrayal of organized crime in cinema. His work in Goodfellas and Casino helped define the modern gangster film, influencing countless movies and TV shows that followed. His on-screen chemistry with Pesci, along with his natural ability to bring mobster characters to life, ensured that he would always be remembered as one of the genre's most iconic actors. While Vincent often played ruthless characters on screen, his real-life friendship with Joe Pesci remained strong throughout their careers. Their early years as a comedy duo, their shared journey into Hollywood, and their collaborations in some of the most celebrated crime films of all time all contributed to a deep and lasting bond. Despite the tough guy roles he played, those who knew him personally described him as warm, funny, and deeply loyal, qualities that mirrored his enduring friendship with Pesci. Frank Vincent's death on September 13, 2017, marked the end of a career that had significantly shaped the portrayal of mobsters in Hollywood. Earlier that month, he suffered a heart attack and was hospitalized in New Jersey, where he underwent open heart surgery. Despite the efforts of medical professionals, he did not survive the procedure, passing away at the age of 80. His death was a major loss to the film industry, particularly to fans of crime dramas, where he had made his greatest impact. Following his passing, his remains were cremated, and a funeral service was held on September 16, 2017, in Montclair, New Jersey. The service was attended by family, close friends, and colleagues who had worked with him throughout his decades-long career. Given his extensive contributions to film and television, his death was widely covered in the media, with tributes pouring in from actors, filmmakers, and fans who admired his work. Many of his longtime collaborators and co-stars, including those from The Sopranos, Goodfellas, and Casino, expressed their sorrow and paid their respects. Lorraine Bracco, who played Karen Hill in Goodfellas, and Dr. Melfi in The Sopranos, tweeted, "A true legend. Rest in peace, Frank Vincent. You will always be remembered." Actor Vincent Pastore, another Sopranos co-star, called him a class act and an inspiration to all of us. Michael Imperioli, who played Christopher Moltisanti in The Sopranos, described Vincent as one of the greats, praising his dedication to his craft and his powerful on-screen presence. Vincent's passing was particularly significant for fans of The Sopranos, where his character, Phil Leotardo, became one of the most feared and ruthless figures in the show's later seasons. His final scene in The Sopranos, where Phil is brutally assassinated, is often remembered as one of the show's most shocking moments. Fans reflected on his ability to bring depth and intensity to every role he played, making his characters truly unforgettable. In addition to his film and television career, Vincent's impact extended into video games, where he voiced mafia boss Salvatore Leone in the Grand Theft Auto series. His work in the gaming world introduced him to a new generation of fans, ensuring that his legacy would continue beyond film and television. Even outside of acting, Vincent was deeply respected in the industry. His book, A Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man, offered a glimpse into his old-school values, humor, and experiences in Hollywood. His legacy was not just in the tough characters he portrayed, but also in the wisdom he shared with younger actors and fans alike. His death was a profound loss, but his impact on Hollywood remains undeniable. From his early days as a musician to his breakthrough in Scorsese films and his unforgettable run on The Sopranos, Frank Vincent left behind a body of work that will be celebrated for generations to come.